again, just like your favourite student, not your favourite student, your favourite friend leaving, going on a holiday, never coming back, just sadly leaving you. You know, you thought he was your friend and then he just left you. That's what people are theorising with Chris Clenshaw. Is he going to be like that one friend, that one meme of Jake Gyllenhaal, like where he's doing the and fades into the smoke? Are people predicting he's going to do that, but with Chris Clenshaw, is he just going to have one final wave and then go off in the distance and then say bye bye?
I mean, I don't think so. I think Chris Clenshaw is likely going to buck the trend. Because if we look at EastEnders executive producers, most of them don't really make it out of 2 years. Like obviously Julius Smith had 4 years at the start. Then you had Mike Gibbon, you had fucking Michael Ferguson, Pat Sandys. Then you had a bunch of ones where they kind of all clashed. Like generally, like you had Leonard Lewis, Helen Greaves, Barbara Emile. All of these having 1 to 2 years. Corinne Hollingworth, Jane Harris, Mike Hudson, Matthew Robertson had 2 from 98 to 2000. John York had 2 years. Louise Barish had 2 years. Kathleen Atchison had 1. John York was a temp. Kate Harwood had 2 years. Diedrich Center had 3, obviously, but Brian Kirkwood had 2. Lorraine Newman had 1. Dominic Treadwell Collins had 3. Sean O'Connor had 1, and John Sen, and it was kind of Kate Oates as well, had. And John Sen had 3, and Chris Clenshaw is currently rocking on coming up to 2 years as executive producer. Now, as that was said, there's only really, like 3? There's 3 or 4 executive producers who lasted more than 2 years. But I do genuinely believe that Chris Clenshaw will likely buck the trend because he's leveled up his way into the role, you know? He put the building blocks, he's been tasked with leading it through the 40th anniversary, which is a very big undertaking, and it's one thing you don't want to fuck up. Because ultimately, nobody's going to remember what happened in fucking 2047, because that's like the 42nd or some shit, and like, no one fucking cares. But on these anniversary years, you need a good fucking executive producer in charge to steer the ship into another decade, another anniversary. But it is always a risk because, let's be honest, most people only really, unless they are genuinely artistic geniuses, they only really have like 1 or 2 contributions, you know? They don't really have 1 or 2 storylines that they've masterminded and believe this is the fucking future. And obviously this for Clenshaw is the 6. It's his big fucking storyline that will define this era and define what he believes. Still a funny one, because people wanted a whodunit, but they don't want a whodunit because they realise that whodunit's gone way too fucking long. You know? Oh, bloody hell, Keanu dies. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, that's great. I love that. What do you mean it's still going on? I'm bored now. Can we move on to the next one? No, there's more ramifications here. But yeah, it's a fucking... I think Chris Clenshaw will get at least 3 years. I don't know what beyond, because we'll obviously have to judge next year how it comes. But 2023 was a great year in the show. 2024, I don't know if it's been as good as 2023. I'll be real with you. Like, last year was fucking electric in terms of, oh fuck, I wonder what happens next. But this year's still been quite good, you know. But yeah, what do you reckon? How long do you reckon Chris Clenshaw's in it?
I reckon he gets a good 4 or 5 years if he somehow can deal with the pressure of the 40th, because everyone has the predictions for the 40th anniversary. I describe that like the Spider-Man No Way Home, or Deadpool and Wolverine, or Doctor Strange and Multiverse of the Madness. It's like, oh fuck, we're gonna get all these old characters. They're all gonna come back. We're gonna see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. We're gonna fucking see. We're fucking gonna see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. We're gonna get this Magneto, and it's like, who do we get? Just Doctor Strange, and it's like, that's not what I wanted. And it's like, Yeah, well, you know half these
But
actors
it's
can't come
what
back.
you got.
It's like half these fucking actors can't come back, lads. It's the same for the 40th, where everyone's going to be like, oh, Chrissy Watt's going to come back. Well, I know she's coming back, but I mean, she'll be leaving soon. But she's coming back, fucking, oh, we're going to get Spencer, we're going to get fucking Nana Moon, we're going to get, like, Big Mo's Little Mo, we're going to get Roly Poly, and it's like, no, it's not Avengers fucking Endgame. Half these characters can't come back. But think about it. It just depends on like how he plans to do it, really. Because you don't want to overbook it and you don't want to underbook it. You want to kind of a lovely middle to it. So if he can hand that and then like somehow push the momentum with it past the 40th and hopefully into like summer 2025, Christmas 2025, the 41st anniversary in 2026. Then that's where you realise he's good. If he somehow falls with the pressure, then you've realised that he just fell. Like, it's all about can he handle the cross when he's nailed to it. Like, Jesus.
I mean, it's like I do, yeah. Similar to this, it'll be interesting to see because even Dominic Treadwell Collins, who masterminded the Hugo Lucy stuff, obviously his era soured when he made Bobby Beale the fucking killer. Like, it did. It genuinely did. They kind of went, "Oh, this is great. Yeah, yeah, yeah." Yeah, who's doing it? I don't know. Bobby. It's Bobby. It's been Bobby all along. Yeah, and even that soured it, and that's always the risk. Because sometimes you can out fucking think yourself. It's like fucking George R.R. Martin, really, where it's like, oh, his books are really good. When's the new one? Yeah, but there's more TV show. When are you finishing that fucking book, George? There's a new series coming out on HBO.
Is he
George.
Is he the one who did?
He's the one who wrote Game of Thrones.
Oh no, not Lord of the Rings. Game of Thrones. I say Game of Thrones. On my mind,
But yeah, it's like, I was like, oh, are you going to actually wrap up the story and do it better than any of the shows that you're saying are shit? There's another one though. There's another show that I'm going to join, then I'm going to leave when it goes bad. Fuck's sake, can you just finish something yourself, please? And that's always a risk. But at the end of the day, I think it'll buck the trend. I think Chris Clenshaw will have been given nothing but goodwill from the producers. I think they'll be ecstatic for how he's masterminded the show during a bit of a transition period, you know, a change from the 2019 to from the 2018, 2017 to 2021 period of shit. Well, 2017 was fine. 2018. And you go from that era, you go to the family era, and now it is, you know, it's a different show. You've gotten rid of some of the main characters. Fucking Mick Carter's gone. Ben Mitchell's gone. Whitney's gone. You've had to remove a lot of these characters, and a lot of other characters have stepped up in their stead. So he's done a great job in actually boosting attention for the show. And also, I'd argue he's raised the profile a little bit. Especially from the last couple of years of shit. But yeah, do something Reddit thread.
Okay. Do you think Chris Clenshaw is gonna have the anniversary? It feels like Chris and the 40th are gonna be wrapped up of a lot of things, I imagine. So I wonder if Chris Clenshaw will be leaving out the 40th anniversary because he's been with the show since 2022. A good 2.5 years, 2.5 men. Only
I'm just waiting for. No, the show's been shit. I miss 2019.
I read that wrong. I thought there was only 6 comments. There's 15. EastEnders has started winning awards again. I don't see them wanting him gone or him wanting to leave unless he himself wants a change or a better opportunity. I hope not. I only got interested again during his era. But probably from 2011 that I stopped watching. I hated the pacing, the constant drag of storylines. Chris has secrets coming out very quickly apart from the 6. But of course we all know why. I don't really want it to go back to being a chore to watch. The months on end of things being kept in the dark. I love how he brings a sense of community to the square. Not saying each era has been perfect, but I still got me watching again. And as someone mentioned, got the show winning awards. As another
comment, pretty much. That's a good one. That's a good comment. As said before, he has added that family feel, and it's nice. Like Honestly, the last step of that criminal drama was fucking Keeble, and that storyline was fucking ass. You know, at the start of 2023, I think,
Yep.
where Phil and Keeble were battling, and she was going to send Billy to prison because Eric shot her dad. Ah, fucking hell! They tried. But it's also brought back the key figures to the front of the show, right? It's brought back Sharon, brought Linda to be central. It's raised George Knight up to being a genuinely good character. As much as people may complain, he's been used a lot. Like Phil is acting other than Christmas, which is wild. I think he's done a really good job so far, and yeah, more threads.
As another comment said, EastEnders getting a lot of awards right out. He'll probably end up doing something worse with the show to piss us all off, though, as most producers do after a while.
Yeah, it's always a risk. It's always a risk.
I think he might try to skank it up until Xmas 2025, New Year's 2026. Lol.
Yeah, fair enough.
Probably he'll be coming up to the end of his third year after the 40th. Has producers stayed longer than 3 years, other than Julia herself? No EastEnders
roughly no.
No EastEnders executive producer has ever been in charge for longer than 4 years. So 2025 exit is likely. No, I don't think so. It would be December 2025. Plot twist: the 40th finale, and they call it a day. What have you got to say, good sir? This year EastEnders has lost all the momentum they built up last year. Thought he's supposed to be good. I don't think 2024 has been a bad year. There's been a lot of external issues of the cast, sickness, etc. It just meant that some secondary storylines have taken priority. I also think 2023 set the bar quite high, which is why you may feel underwhelmed by this year. You're getting downvoted, but I do agree to an extent. He is good, he is a lot better than certain producers, but he has been lacking a bit this year. To be fair, how are you meant to top a year like last year? But that being said, he could have done a bit better. This week's episodes were amazing, though. Defo feels like he's upping his game and bringing back the Clenshaw we know and love. Yes, he could have done it better, but as the other commenter said, there's a lot. Going to continue.
This is just I'm gonna. How does this end?
Only 4
Oh,
months.
it's just someone saying that fucking send her to deal with worse. I mean, it's not been that much work. Obviously, 2023 was great. 2023 was a fantastic year in the show, but it's always harder finish. You know, if your first year is your best year, it's always going to be hard to top that. And it's always going to be difficult to try and achieve what he did in the first year because nobody really knew what he was doing. All right. He'd now earned the right to do the second year because he did so well on the first one. Yeah, sure, people have been taking breaks, but it's kind of an issue with the soap, really. I don't know. I don't really know. I can understand why people don't like this year as much. You know, it's probably not as good as 2023, but I don't think it's been that much worse, though. Like, it's still been hitting the right peaks, you know? It's still been having, like, each storyline, each month is generally a really big storyline. Even if that, like, middle bit of spring was a Whitney's exit. Fucking hate Brittany, little cow. Oh, she's a kid, for fuck's sake. Fucking hate Brittany and Whitney, so they should fuck off, ruining Zach and Whitney. Fuck you, child. Dickheads.
What's the other child called?
What? Dolly?
Dolly. Oh, it's called Dolly. I thought it was like Peaches. What the fuck rhymes with Peaches?
No, Peach is Peach.
No, not Peach is the dead one, but I was like...
Classic.
I was just thinking, I was like, what rhymes with Peaches? Mangoes? Oh, doesn't really work.
But at the end of the day, when do I think he'll go? I somewhat agree with what people are saying in the comments. It'll probably wrap up through Christmas 2025 and move on. And then they'll hand over and maybe he'll mastermind the 41st anniversary, but I think they'll probably hand over at that point. As much as I'd love to say I'd love to see Clenshaw stay, at the end of the day, we've only seen 1 year. So, once the sixth storyline wraps up, which will likely be in the anniversary next year, that is when, obviously, we see if he is actually going to stay or if he just runs out of shit. I don't think he will. I think he's a great executive producer, but there's always a risk, right?
Stay now. Stay another day, Chris, please. Ash, get on them fucking sheets. Start doing that madness. So Chris, please, if you're listening to this, stay another day, please.
Sugar